श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारमण जी.
Sir, I rise to present a statement in Hindi and English, both versions, of estimated receipts and expenditure of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir for the year 22-23.
Number 19 again, madam.
Sir, I rise to present a statement, Hindi and English versions, showing the supplementary demand for grants in respect of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir for the year 21-22.
Item number 20 G.
Sir, I rise to again present a statement, Hindi and English versions, showing supplementary demands for grants, third and the final batch for 21 and 22.
Item number 21, Shrimati Nirmala ji.
Sir, I rise to present a statement again in Hindi and English versions, showing demands for grants, excess grants for 18 and 19.
माननीय सदस्यगण, नियम 377 के अधीन मामलों को सभा पटल पर रखा जाएगा. जिन माननीय सदस्यों के 377 के अधीन मामले स्वीकृत किए गए हैं, वह कृपया निर्धारित समय में उनको पटल पर पहुंचा दें. आइटम नंबर 23, श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारमण जी.
So this is a motion. I rise to move that this House do suspend Rule 205 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha, which provides that there shall be no discussion of the budget on the day it is presented to the House in its application to discussion of the budget for 22-23 and supplementary demands for grants for 21-22 of the Government of Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir to enable the same day presentation of and discussion on the budget.
Shri Manish Tiwari ji.
Mr. Chairperson, sir, I rise to oppose this motion. If we look at Rule 205, Rule 205 says there shall, the word used is shall, be no discussion of the budget on the day on which is presented in the House. Mr. Chairperson, sir, that while Rule 388 provides for the suspension of rules on a motion moved by any of the members, my submission is that there are certain rules which form the basic structure of the rules of procedure for the conduct of business of this House and are therefore beyond the amending power of the House. Similarly, like certain features of the Constitution have been held by the Supreme Court in Keshav Nand Bharti's case to be beyond the amending power of Article 368, which applies to this House. Similarly, there are certain rules which are sacrosanct because the scrutiny of budgets is the primary responsibility of this House. And in the case of Jammu and Kashmir, which does not have an elected legislature, and this House substitutes itself for the legislature of Jammu and Kashmir, that duty becomes even far more compounded. So therefore, under those circumstances, my objections are twofold. My first objection is I want a ruling from the chair that whether Rule 205 is within the scope of amendment as proposed by Rule 388 or it is beyond the amending power because it constitutes the basic structure of these rules. Number two, my submission is, Mr. Chairperson, that the budget which the Honourable Finance Minister has presented, it is a serious document, it is an important document. We should be given time to study it. So therefore, heavens will not fall that rather than have the discussion now, we don't even have the budget in front of us. We don't have the papers in front of us. What are we supposed to discuss in the House when we don't even have the papers in front of us? If this rule is, if this motion is carried, if this motion is carried and it is suspended, what is this House going to discuss? Where are the papers? Where is the budget? So under those circumstances, my submission is, heavens will not fall. Please allow us time. Let us have this discussion tomorrow. But more important than that, Mr. Chairperson, sir, I want a ruling from the chair whether Rule 205 can at all be suspended because it constitutes basic structure of the rules.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please. We have given notice, that's why. Sir, I have given notice of my objection in allowing this motion of Rule 205 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business. I fully support the observations made by Sri Manish Tiwari ji. Regarding Rule 205 is very specific that there shall not be. I would like to reiterate Rule 205, that is, there shall be no discussion. There shall be no discussion of the budget on the day on which it is presented to the House. Today, Madam has now presented the Jammu Kashmir budget for the year 22-23. Yes, we fully agree with it. So there cannot be a discussion on the same subject matter today. That is the first objection. Why? Because the Constitution of India provides for the scrupulous scrutiny of each and every penny which is being spent out of the Consolidated Fund of India. That is to be approved by the Parliament. Each and every penny out of the Consolidated Fund of India has to be approved by this Parliament. This is the right of the Parliament, right of the members of the House. We don't have a budget. Now, at present, just now, Madam has presented the budget. We don't have the copy. Now we have to go to the publication counter and get the copy of the budget and see whether the Jammu Kashmir industry is being protected. So, no way this motion can be allowed, number one. And number two is regarding Rule 215 and Rule 216. That is my second objection. That is a point of order for which I am seeking a ruling from you. Sir, because the order paper, the list of business shows that if item number 23 is carried on, Chairman, sir, kindly see, if item number 23 if this motion is carried on by this House, then item number 24 to 26 will be taken together for discussion. If item number 23 is carried on, if this motion is carried by this House, then we are going to take this 24 to 26 will be taken together. Sir, I am coming to two provisions, 215 of the Rules of Procedure and 216 of Rules of Procedure. I am reading Rule 216 of the Rules of Procedure. The debate on the supplementary grant shall be confined to the items constituting the same, and no discussion may be raised on the original grants, nor policy underlying them, save insofar as it may be necessary to explain or illustrate the particular items under discussion. Sir, 216 is very clear that the original demands for grants shall never be discussed with the supplementary demands for grants. Yes, I do expect that if the Speaker has ample right to suspend the rule, that I will agree. But there is a specific provision in the Rules of Practice and Conduct of Business by virtue of Rule 216, original grants for demands shall never be discussed with the supplementary demands for grants. Sir, kindly see item number 2, all these original demands for grants or original budget is there, along with supplementary demands is also there. Supplementary demands and original grants shall never be discussed together. That is Rule 216. Rule 205 is a mandatory provision by virtue of the Constitution of India. It is having a constitutional backing also, because budget is the annual revenue expenditure that has scrupulous scrutiny of the budget provisions is required, for which time is required. Hence, my submission is, in no way this motion be carried. I strongly oppose this motion.
जी जी धन्यवाद। देखिए माननीय सदस्यगण, आपने अपनी आपत्ति दर्ज कर दी है। आज के बिजनेस के अंदर यदि ये एजेंडा स्वीकृत हुआ है तो निश्चित रूप से माननीय अध्यक्ष जी की अनुमति से स्वीकृत हुआ है, और जैसा ऑनरेबल मेंबर ने भी कहा कि उनका अधिकार है और इस पर ज्यादा चर्चा करना उचित नहीं। आपने आपत्ति दर्ज कर दी। प्रश्न यह है कि श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारमण द्वारा प्रस्तुत प्रस्ताव को स्वीकृत किया जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में वो हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य इसके विरोध में वो ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में हुआ, प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ।